Hello, today we are going to talk about how to create a Word Manager QEMU VM Fedora Linux KDE Spin virtual machine, and then we're going to install inside it kdesrc-build in order to compile a KDE Git repository. Okay, so what is Fedora? Fedora Linux, one of the distributions in the family Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Current version 36. 4 months ago, uses RPM, and the package manager over RPM is DNF. And let's see, there's KDE Plasma available. There's the Edition workstation, which uses GNOME. There's Spin for KDE and other desktops. So we're going to install the KDE Spin in order to have a cleaner virtual machine with less GNOME packages, in order to have the KDE Kate, Crusader, Dolphin, the usual applications that we use while developing for KDE. Okay, so the official website is getfedora.org. Okay, and it says Fedora beta released. We'll ignore it for now. We're going with the released version, which is 36. So I don't want workstation, server, or IoT, not CoreOS, Silverblue. I want KDE Plasma desktop, so Fedora Spins. KDE Plasma desktop. Okay. Where can I download this thing? Download now. No pre-releases. Download 1.8 ISO 64-bit x86. That's what I want. Okay. Let's put it in the correct place. So to delete ISO, save. Three minutes left. While it downloads, let's look a bit more at Fedora. So DistroWatch, Fedora. So this is the Fedora page from DistroWatch. So getfedora.org, the correct home page, website, canonical website. There's a wiki, fedoraproject.org/wiki. Version 36. Released on May. Okay. What else can we see in here? It uses systemd. GCC 12, pretty new. Okay, what else? JDK, openssh, Qt 5.15. Okay, so it finished downloading. Let's create a virtual machine. So my hardware machine is running Ubuntu 22.04. Let's start Word Manager, Virtual Machine Manager. Let's make some space in here or not. Yes. New virtual machine, local media ISO x86-64. Browse, refresh, Fedora KDE Live, choose volume. It knows that it's Fedora. 10 gigabytes of RAM, most CPU cores, forward 200 at least because we're building source code. Fedora, okay. Customize, network selection, default not, yes, great. Finish. So the best chipset, BIOS, Fedora, wrong, CPU topology 115, apply, memory correct, booked options, virt.io, virt.io really good, this is the best performance for a hard disk that we have in Virt Manager and in KVM. The CD-ROM is SATA, that's great. NIC, virt.io, great. Tablet, the rest are always the same. Okay, video virt.io. So I can begin the installation. It creates the kcalc hard disk image. It boots from the SATA CD-ROM. We want to start Fedora KDE Live 36. So I pressed the up arrow and then enter. Okay, so this is the live CD, it booted in the live CD. So we're in the live CD. This is Fedora 36 KDE Spin. It runs KDE Plasma Desktop. We can use the desktop if we want. We don't want such a thing. We want to install to the hard drive. I single clicked, nothing happened, so I'm trying double click. Okay, let's go with English, United States, continue. Okay, so it says keyboard US, correct? Installation. We're selecting the only hard disk that we have. Automatic. What's automatic going to do? Is it going to do BTRFS? Then I don't want such a thing. How do we customize something? No. So done. Root account is disabled. The root account is used to administer the system. The root account has complete access. Logging into the system as the user account is best on only to perform maintenance. Lock the account. Enable root account will allow you to set a root password and optionally enable remote access. I don't know what this thing does. I want to use sudo. I don't want to use don't want a root user to have a password. I don't want to be able to connect remotely using openssh as the root account user. So, who knows? Why doesn't it like what I'm doing? Okay, let's make this USA East. Wired network. I want a username. A short password because we're in a virtual machine. Press done twice to confirm. Once and go. Everything seems okay. I don't want BTRFS on my hard disk. I want ext4. That's good enough for me. So begin installation. BTRFS, okay. Quit. Yes. English, United States. I don't know, this thing. Done. Let's see, so I don't want BTRFS. I don't want LVM. What's this? Home root. Certainly don't want such a thing. PD1, what's this? You haven't created any mount points for your Fedora 36 installation. Create a new mount point. New mount points will use the following partition scheme. I don't know how to do this because we might need a UEFI /boot UEFI partition. Okay, so what do you do? /boot 1 gigabyte ext4, correct? /home. What are you doing? Why? Why? Remove this thing. What's this thing? Refresh. Scan disks. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. Automatic. Custom. Done. Unknown. Remove. Remove. Standard partitions. Create them automatically. I'll delete the home. And this desired capacity 200. So ext4, no encryption, VDA, VDA2. Okay, so this is what I want. /boot 1 GB ext4 /200 GB ext4. Seems to be okay. Done. Okay. Accept changes. Root account disabled. Administrator. Root password. Okay, done twice. Time zone. So time zone, English, US keyboard, the partitioning, wired, administrator, begin installation. Okay. Okay, so it has installed the packages. Now it installs a bootloader, which is probably Grob. Okay, we'll wait a bit. We might, okay. So it's progressed. Configuring installed system. Creating users, init ramfs. Running post-installation scripts. So it doesn't use all of the cores that I gave it. Complete, finish installation. It reboots and Word Manager will automatically remove the ISO from the CD-ROM drive. Finish installation. Does it reboot or do I need to reboot? Let me reboot. Okay. Let's look at the settings of the virtual machine. So 15 CPUs, boot options, just VirtIO disk, CD-ROM. The ISO was ejected from the CD-ROM drive. Looks okay. And we're at initial setup, which I don't know what it does. Okay, we're at the SDDM, which is the desktop manager, the login manager. We don't want Wayland, we want X11. We use our password. Okay, let's make sure that we can connect to this machine using openssh and xorgxrdp. So So let's do those things. Sudo. Okay. Password. Let's see if I can connect localhost IP address. So it has the address that ends in 107, and it's shown in here too. So let's see if I can just straight up connect. SSH username. (107). Probably not installed. Where is the virtual machine? Let's see how we install things in here. Let me configure Firefox, Windows left to dock. So right click, customize toolbar, no spaces, no pocket, no head, toolbars, never show bookmarks, done. Settings, where are the settings? Tab. New tabs, use blank page, and new windows, use blank page. Okay, and then download, always ask. Okay, these are my settings. New private window, I don't need these things pinned in here. Okay, so Fedora packages search. This thing, and I want to search for SSH. Next page. SSH server. The list is not ordered alphabetically. So better just SSH. Only 82 results. No SSH server yet. Next page. No SSH server yet. Next page. Even Dropbear is in the list before OpenSSH server. So I have no clue what's the name of the SSH server. OpenSSH. Yeah, makes sense. So I'm as root in here. The package manager is called DNF. So DNF install. Yes, similar to opt. DNF install OpenSSH. This downloads the metadata. So the information in the repository about the list of available packages. So there's a number of repositories, each containing RPM packages, which are the native binary package format for Fedora and the Red Hat Enterprise Linux family of operating systems. So it says openssh is already installed. Okay, then maybe we need to see if it's running. Why can't we grep in this list? No pager. L, no pager. Yes, let's see. Okay, seems to work. Not really. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, the name is sshd.service disabled vendor preset disabled. So I'm guessing I need to enable it. Enable minus no. And it's running. Let's see if it's filtered out by a firewall. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes. Password. Okay. So I have connected from the hardware machine running Ubuntu 22.04 via the SSH client to the SSH server that runs on the Fedora K virtual machine. The next thing to do is to see if we can get xorgxrdp in here. xrdp. So there's xrdp, there's xorgxrdp. Let's install both. Sudo su password of user administrator. dnf install xrdp xorgxrdp. Yes. Okay, but is it running? How do we find out? We try to connect to this machine, so Ctrl-Shift-D. I'm on the hardware machine. So let's run the RDP client. So that's /opt something with free RDP bin x free RDP. Okay, I need a Kate, a text editor. So we want this thing. User is administrator. Not a problem if it asks for password. Server name. It's the IP address of the server 192. 107. What else? This thing. What else? Video. What else? Width, yes. /w. So we're on 1080p. Width is 1920. Height 1080. What else? The RFX thing. I don't know what it does, but there it is. And the speed. So that's /network LAN. Okay, this should be it. Ctrl C, Ctrl Shift V. So it says could not connect. 192, 168, 122, 107. One 192, 168, 122, 107, okay. Then maybe the systemd service is not running. xrdp, xorgxrdp. There's no such thing, so xrdp probably is the one. So we need to alt backspace, enable, now. Let's try to connect again. Okay, so it asks for a password. I trust. Okay, and it starts in KDE Plasma automatically, which is really good. Let's hope it works. Let me restart everything. Okay. So this is a bug where I have told KDE Plasma Desktop to restart in Word Manager, and the UI for the restart was shown on the xrdp client. Okay, so this is what I'm expecting to see. Some errors because PolicyKit does not recognize me as logged using the physical mouse, keyboard, and monitor, which is correct. Okay, so I need to put my password sometimes. What I don't like is that the FreeRDP client window is too large. It chops a bit of the taskbar. So let's make the window smaller. So that's with the width and height. So this would be 1080p, 1040 height, and width, that's 880. 1880 by 1040. Okay, Is it too big or not? Seems to be okay. Okay, so the next thing to do is to terraform the machine a bit. So we don't want contact in here. Uninstall. Yeah, good idea. Does it really work? Have a ton of updates available. I should install these first. Remove contact libs, proceed. Okay. What else? I don't want discover in here. Console. It looks okay. Let me install the updates. This is a known bug in KDE where console starts with a minimal size possible. Let's hide the toolbars. We don't need those. I don't know how to update Fedora. Let's find out. Windows right. So Fedora DNF how to update. Okay. So how do we update? Which is upgrade in apt system upgrade reboot. What is this? I don't know. So this first line seems to be it. DNF upgrade refresh. This command needs to be run as a super user. And I'm not super user, okay? So it downloads the metadata. Then it says Oxygen sounds replacing Oxygen sound theme. And it needs to upgrade almost 1000 packages. So I go in yes. So the download size is 1.5 gigabytes. First it downloads all of the updates, then it's going to install those. And it downloads at least 2 packages at once. So it's double threaded from what I see. Google Noto, the fonts. So the release is from May this year, 2022. Now we're on October. So 5 months of new packages, new RPM files. Okay, let's see what does the KDE Spin of Fedora install by default. So I can see LibreOffice, which is a thing that Kubuntu allows me not to install. So Kubuntu has the installer has a checkbox that says install a minimal KDE Plasma system without any LibreOffice. So I should probably uninstall this thing. I can't right now because the only one package manager can't run at the same time. Sieve scripts, what is this? Dragon player. KRDC, KRFP, Kmail. Ton of applications that I never use, and if they would not be installed, I wouldn't need to install updates for these. Games. It's been a while that I didn't see the games. Okay. So still to download 0 packages, and now it's going to install those packages to the hard disk. Transaction check succeeded. Transaction test succeeded. So it wants to make sure that if it installs all of these updates, there will not be orphaned packages or packages with unmet dependencies or other scary things that can happen during upgrades, such as uninstalling 1000 packages or conflicts. So 2000 things to run. Scriptlets, upgrades. Installing. Okay. So again, this is my hardware machine. This is my virtual machine, but I'm not using this user interface at all. I can even close it, no problem. What I do is I connect via SSH to the virtual machine, and I connect with xorgxrdp, the RDP client, to the virtual machine. And the RDP client is this, the one with the rabbit icon. Okay. So 1/3 of the actions have run so far. 600 out of 1900. Let's read a bit on how to Firefox should be pinned. Let's see how we need to install kdesrc-build on this machine. So that's KDE. Yeah, KDE on Wikipedia. This is the desktop environment and software community. Okay, the canonical website is kd.org. There's a hidden hamburger button in here for not known reasons, which shows us the main menu. Get involved. I want to get involved as a developer, and how can I develop for KDE using this instance of Fedora 36 KDE Spin? So it says I should use the latest version of Fedora in order to have recent version of Qt and recent version of the binary packages, RPM packages that are needed in order to build KDE Git repositories. Okay. So it says one time set up my environment variable. What I need to do. I need to install basic tools for Fedora, these things. Okay, so 1900 steps out of 1900 steps. All of these steps are just extra. Okay. User groups. Checking. I don't know what checking means. Upgraded, so this is a summary. Why does it give me a summary? I don't know. And complete. And I'm up to date now, so I need to do a reboot. Let's install this first. So middle select and then middle mouse click. So click on the mouse on the scroll button to do primary selection paste. What does it do now? Okay, yes. So it downloads a ton of per modules. So we need Git in order to Git clone the KDE Git repository kdesrc-build, and kdesrc-build is a Perl script, so it needs Perl and some modules in order to start, and from there it will install its dependencies, extra dependencies. Okay, so let's do a reboot first. Like this. Okay, did it start? Yes. Okay. The mouse cursor is too small. Let's make this bigger. So what do I usually do? Screen edges, this thing should do nothing. And the outer 15, apply. Back, mouse, cursors. I want the biggest cursor possible, not really. Okay. What else do I need? So I need a console pinned in here, I have it. I need to be super user. I need to install software. Emacs minus no x MC Crusader. Yes. Okay, so Emacs in order to survive on the command line as an editor, MC as an orthodox file manager for the command line for the text user interface, orthodox file manager for the GUI Crusader. Let's configure this and pin it. Right click, pin to task manager, go. Okay. So I like what I see here. This looks okay. Layout, compact. I'm not sure if this thing does anything. View as small as possible. Apply. Fonts smaller, please. Media. Colors, yes. General. Okay. Editor, let's put Kate in here. Where is Kate? Yes. Probably has kwrite and does not have Kate. So utilities. Kate, yes. And kwrite, I don't want to see kwrite. Remove. Kwrite. Yes. Okay. Yes. Kmail, kget, krename, packers, checksum, user actions, fonts way smaller, fonts way smaller, apply protocols. Okay. Let's hide all of the useless Chrome. So no status bar, no function keys. Yes, embedded terminal. Toolbars, none. Okay, let's start it again. The icons are too big. Okay. What's next? To continue running the installation of kdesrc-build. Okay, so that's KDE getting started development. I'm not sure if the fonts are okay. Let's work our way. So anti-aliasing enable. Hinting, let's go with full. Apply. And fonts. Can we make everything smaller? Adjust all fonts. Size 9. Okay. This thing. Apply. Okay. So get involved development. This is the wiki page, community.kde.org/get involved/development. And it says one-time setup. We'll leave the console tab where we're root. We'll create a new one, Ctrl-Shift-D. UMI, pwd, df, mount, lsblk. What else? Rename -a. Do we have a swap? Yes, we have a swap. Where? I don't know. ZRAM. We have swap in ZRAM and SR0 ROM. I know what that is. And swap is 8 gigabytes. So we're going to need the swap. Okay. Control L to clean up. So we've installed these packages. Now we can configure Git. So my name is like this. My user, my email. Okay, Control L to clean up. Next. Set up kdesrc-build. I should run this part. Paste, enter. So it git clones and changes into that directory. Okay, so we're in tilde/kd/src/kdsrc-build. The next thing to do is to run this line. So it says you're on Fedora and I'm going to install a ton of packages using sudo dnf-y to confirm and then install. Let's see what packages it installs. 141 packages. Perl, X, libraries, Boost, ICU, XSLT, Z standard, a ton of devel packages. So devel packages contain /usr/include, so header files, and CMake files, so files with extension .cmake. Okay, and it says that do I want to update tilde//.bashrc? I go yes. Let's see what it did to the bashrc file. Middle click paste. So it if SE bashrc exists, it sources it. If path does not contain tilde/.local/bin and tilde/bin, it prepends it to the path, which is the correct thing to do. And then yeah, this is probably a good thing to do, to not auto page. Let me do this, Control S. I don't have tilde/.bashrc.d directory, hopefully. It prepends in front of the path the directory where the file kdesrc-build per script exists. Then some auto-completion, which I don't use. So it looks okay. Then it says it has created a sample configuration file, this thing. So Control O, middle click paste, and enter. So let's look at the configuration file. Everything has default values, so these are okay. This is okay, this is wrong, should be debug. Num cores, I want to use all of my CPU's cores, so 15. This, let's make it 12. We keep the defaults. Stop on failure, we will change stop on failure sometimes to be true, sometimes to be false. This is a font rendering bug. The gap between S and T is too large and between T and O is too small. Okay. Directory layout, I always want invent in here. This I keep defaults, and these two I keep defaults, Control S. And now it says that I can create a new tab in console. A new bash instance was started. The .bashrc might have been sourced or not. Let's look at the environment variable path. So it should start with tilde/kd/src/kdesrc-build, yes, then tilde/.local/bin, yes, and then tilde/bin, and then the rest of the normal directories. Okay, so I don't need to run this because I started a new console tab. I did the echo path. I'm not using Z shell, I'm using bash. I have looked at this configuration file. I'm not building Qt. I don't need to uncomment these things. Disable indexing for your development environment. Sounds like a good idea. How do we do this? Settings, search, file search. Don't enable any file search. I have never used this feature. Okay. Download no KDE dependencies. So KDE src-build --initial setup has installed a ton of RPM packages. We've installed a ton of RPM packages when we upgraded, and then we installed a ton of packages when we installed the prerequisites for KDE src-build, which is this thing. But still we need more RPM packages to be downloaded from our distribution Fedora and installed on our machine in order to have all of the 400 KDE Git repositories built correctly and find their dependencies correctly. Okay, so it says how do I build software KDE src-build. I go KDE src-build and then the name of what they call module. So I'm going with the simplest application that I know of, which is kcalc. The first thing that it does, it downloads a KDE Git repository. It clones a Git repository named sysadmin repo metadata, which contains the list of KDE Git repositories and the dependencies between them, which KDE Git repository to build first and which to build second, such that the second finds the .cmake files installed by the first Git repository and the SO files created by the first and the .h files, etc. Okay. So we're building with 15 CPU cores. We run fast vert NVMe PCI 3 SSD. We have more than enough RAM, 10 gigabytes and 8 gigabytes of swap. And we have hit the first problem in here. So it says, where are you? Download non-KDE dependencies. So okay, internationalization failed. And we don't know why it failed yet. But this page might come in handy. So for Fedora, it says if something failed, why don't you sudo dnf build def that package? So okay, internationalization. So let's try to do that. In the tab where we're super user, so dnf build dep and was k internationalization. And I'm in the wrong tab. Okay. Middle click, paste. and it enables additional repositories, ones which are called source. And it says no package kinternalization exists. So the name of the KDE Git repository is kinternalization, but the name of the Fedora packages is something else. So let's see what's its name. Fedora package search. Change to English. Fedora packages. Internationalization. This thing, which I'm not allowed to select. Okay. So Alt backspace to delete an entire word, middle click to paste. So it wants to download a ton of devel packages, fine by me. And it will also download Qt devel packages, which is okay. Yes. Then we run again kdesrc-build kcalc. It will try to update the two packages that already built correctly, which is xrc make modules and kcorredons. Then it tries to build k-internationalization. So building means running a step which is similar to the /configure step in GNU tools. So that's called cmake. The next step is make. So with cmake is instructed to create GNU make files. And the last step is make install. It installs in ~kd/usr, so that's what's called the prefix. And make uses GCC, not clang. So now we have enough RPM files installed from Fedora that we managed to build 7 KDE Git repositories. Another one has failed. Let's see what's the name of the RPM package corresponding to this KDE Git repository, kwidgets add-ons. Ctrl V. So it's the same thing, but with kf5 at the start. Ctrl Shift V to paste. Yes. So it needs Qt tools, devel, Qt designer, Qt doc tools. Okay, Ctrl C to stop. kdesrc-build, kcalc again. So it tries to build again the modules that it has already built, and there's nothing else to do, so it doesn't rebuild, it builds. If the Git repository did not change, it doesn't have anything to do, doesn't have to update the local git clone, and then if there's nothing to build, it doesn't build anything. If there's nothing to install, it doesn't install anything. So last time it built 7 modules, and now it's I guess it's going to manage to build the 8th module. Okay. Most of the failures are in the running cmake targeting step, not in the compiling step. So if you get at the compiling step, most of the times you're going to be okay. Most of the errors, if you're using a new Linux distribution, most of the errors are at a step running cmake targeting, where it determines that you need to install additional binary packages from your Linux distribution, so RPMs in our case. So KGUI add-ons. Let's see what KGUI add-ons does. I'm going to guess the same type of name. Middle click paste. Yes. So something about Wayland. Okay. In order for kdesrc-build not to try to build again the modules that have already been built, there's a command line parameter that's called skip. Not resume. So resume from a command line parameter for kdesrc-build. Okay, we're at module 15 out of 75. So when you try to install the RPM packages that are required in order to build all of the 400 KDE Git repositories, you might install these, but these are totally not enough. Additional packages you will have to install, and this is a pretty good trick. So kicon themes, double click on it to select, up arrow key to navigate back in history, Alt backspace to delete a word, Ctrl Shift V to paste. No, it's kicon themes. So Alt backspace and middle click. Enter. Always yes. So you should probably put a -y in there, the command line dnf install. Let's try with resume from. Resume from space kicon themes. Go. So again, the step preparing build system. Oh no, running CMake targeting was successful for kicon themes because we installed the RPM packages on which kicon themes depends. Okay, so that's why we have this sentence before this sentence. Still, let's install these, maybe they help us somehow. Unable to find a match for VLC devel, so what? Why don't you install the rest of the packages? I exited the virtual machine without even noticing. So I need a create in here. I need to pin it to the favorites. Yes, Kate, paste. So I need to search for VLC. This thing, I need to remove it. Ctrl A, Ctrl C, Ctrl C, Ctrl Shift V, go. Is this okay? Of course. So it installs both libraries, but also the -devel RPM package of that library. So sane and sane -devel. Okay, so we've installed a bunch of RPMs, and the build is still progressing. We're at module 16 out of 58, which is KIO, input output. taglib is a third-party library. Kirigami is one of the most important KDE frameworks version 5. Okay. So now I expect most of the, so there's 70 KDE frameworks Git repositories. I expect most of those to build correctly now that I have installed this bunch of dependencies. But then after KDE frameworks are built, the kcalc, which is the application that I actually want to kdesrc-build to build, will be built as the last module. And that will probably fail because it can't find its two other dependencies, which are not Qt, not KDE, which are GMP and MPFR. And then I will probably do the same thing, which is DNF build dep kcalc. It will install those two things. Let's see if we can do it right now. Kcalc. And I don't see any GMP, any MPFR. So MPFR devel is already installed. GMP devel is already installed. So we can say no here. Okay, so this was it. This was how to create a QEMU KVM Vert Manager Fedora 36 KDE Spin virtual machine. We're connecting to it using openssh and xorgxrdp xfreeRDP. And then we've installed kdesrc-build, some other additional tools such as Crusader, MC, Max, NoX, Kate with uninstalled kwrite, and we have run the tutorial which tells you how to install kdesrc-build. And special for Fedora, we needed to install additional dependencies from this chapter, where we have installed all of these dependencies, but then there's no libvlc-devel, so we needed to remove that. And then for all of the other packages, such as, I don't know, kcalc, for instance, a Git repository, let's pretend that this Git repository fails to build. I'm searching on packages.fedoraproject.org its project, its RPM package. So paste and then search, and the RPM package is called kf5-kcmutils, and I'm using this command line. So dnf build def and the name of the RPM. So kf5-kcmutils. I have a console tab open where I'm always the root user, and I have another console tab open where I run kdesrc-build space kcalc, because kcalc is one of the simplest KDE applications that I know of. So it needs to build 70 something KDE Git repositories. It builds them in the correct order. Now only 12 Git repositories remain to be built out of those 70 something. And everything will work out okay. If you want to build more than kcalc, you could, for instance, build everything, which is kdesrc-build with no parameters. So this is it. Thank you.